dead. I don't understand. Why do classes with bloodlust never bloodlust? I'm dying through shield wall. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Bogdan here. In this video we're running one of my most favorite dungeons, 19 Algethar Academy as a 380 Protection Paladin. This dungeon is part of the Impossible Challenge which started April 11th. All information about the challenge is in the description down below. Make sure to stick until the end. I have a very special teaser announcement for all of you. I believe you will enjoy it. And if you like this one, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Now let's get right into it. Oh man. Hello YouTube. Let me show you guys. Look. Hello YouTube. Oh man, these guys are cool. I'm probably gonna do just like 5 paladin runs. Is that cheating? Guys, is that cheating? I don't think it is. Is it? I don't think so. Oh, here we go. Shadow Priest. I like Shadow Priest. At the start, come on, be honest. Who did not believe? There were at least a couple of people that did not believe. I know, it's fine. Look, I'll be honest, I kind of didn't believe it myself. When you guys chose Paladin for this challenge, not my most favorite tank, it's starting to grow on me a little bit. I'm kind of glad that you guys did. Let's see how it handles the magic damage in Algethar Academy. I think we should be good, especially with Blessing of Spell Wording. 3, 2, 1. I'm actually gonna go versatility. What's my haste? My haste 25.93. I don't need haste. I need versatility. Alright, parallel to this dungeon, I will be running a commentary. Running you guys through the things that I have done in this dungeon because I have been focusing up quite a lot and I haven't been really as vocal as maybe I should have in some parts of this dungeon. So let's walk through it together. So here, I'm actually doing just a standard big pull. Typically, you will see tanks that are super geared doing this, but I feel very comfortable in the beginning. Okay, interrupted the rain. Should be good now. Severing slash. Somebody interrupted, or did it do no damage? Yeah, I'm just gonna shield all this. Incoming! You guys will love this one. It came a little bit as a surprise to me, too. I'm dead! My bad. I could have bubbled. I could have bubbled, saved shield wall, do bubble into shield wall. Yeah. That's what I should have done. See, we're learning. We're becoming better. Let's do this. And yeah, I'm learning in parallel with you guys these dungeons, especially as Protection Paladin. Not one of my most favorite tanks. Not something I'm very comfortable on. I kind of avoided it in previous expansions, didn't play that much in Legion, a little bit in BFA, kind of was like, you know, last member of the pack back in Shadowlands, and now it's kind of starting to grow on me a little bit, but still, you know, some of the other tanks I like more. It's definitely a little bit overpowered right now, and it can definitely hold its ground. I'm telling you guys, like, these mobs, they actually do damage. When you come into Algethar, you might think, hey, I'm gonna survive this dungeon, you know, it's actually pretty easy. But a lot of these trash packs, they just do a whole lot of magic damage. And something like the axes, you know, they're gonna randomly do a bunch of physical damage. You can only stun it, or you can blind it or knock it, interrupt it in some way. You cannot kick it, but you can definitely need to interrupt it. And yeah, kick that cast. I typically want to take these pulls. I need to play extra safe on these packs, man. Yeah, extra safe and take them one at a time. If I was on my main paladin, you know, 415 item level, I would have probably done this in like 2 big pulls. Okay, I managed to kick 2 of them. I'm gonna IR tier this one. Okay, somebody got that cast. That's good. I don't have much for this, so I'm just gonna need to heal. I proc my cheat death. On my main paladin, I have 20s timed on both. No. Fortified as well as Tyrannical for Algethar Academy, and it was actually one of the easiest dungeons for my paladin. Boss number 3, which is arguably one of the hardest bosses in the game for most tanks. It's pretty much a joke for the paladin, so many tools to deal with it. And if you think about the second boss, Croth, is pretty much the same thing. So much self-sustain, a lot of different cooldowns. IF tier on a 45-second cooldown. You can pretty much mitigate every single other physical damage dot that he does on you. So it's very easy to handle. Bubble the first one. On this first boss, again, the tools of the Paladin come into play. Wait, lost. Over here, I was a little bit triggered by the fact that our
lust.
Evoker wasn't bloodlusting.
What are we doing?
4, 3, 2,
This happens to me a lot. I get classes that can bloodlust and they just don't press the
Need to
button.
lust and clear. What are we doing?
So people weren't moving here. We didn't clear. We weren't bloodlusting. I was a little bit triggered at this point. Sort of lost focus, concentration for a second there. In order to regain it, I just pressed drums. I know it's not as efficient, but it's better than no lust. So I'm sort of trying to get back here into the mindset, stay positive, and not really go down the rabbit hole of just, you know, becoming mad.
I don't understand. Why do classes with bloodlust never bloodlust?
This is a problem that I see very, very often, and it's not just something in small keys, but also in very high keys. For some reason, classes with bloodlust, either they're afraid,
Oh man, I need to shield.
or they just don't know when to bloodlust. So instead of lusting, they just don't do it because they have this sort of innate fear of, oh, what if I'm gonna get, you know, flamed for it? But look, it's better to lust than not to lust. And especially in fortified weeks, if you don't know where to lust, just spend a couple of seconds, couple of minutes before you start the dungeon and just say, hey, where do you guys prefer to lust? And just make a mental note of that and do it then.
I don't know, man. I don't feel safe with this healer.
This is one of the issues in this dungeon. I actually realized very early on that
I feel like I'm constantly in danger.
I was constantly in danger, and especially when you're under geared, you can definitely tell if your healer is using the cooldowns properly or not. He doesn't just need to raw heal me.
I always like doing this pull, pulling those 4 plus a couple of extra and playing this, and especially very efficient on bolstering. And you really want to avoid the middle pack.
Just make sure you don't pull the big worm and all of those other mobs during bolstering. They're not worth it. They're going to give you a big headache. You know, the casts from the scepter are going to go off. The big worm is going to get bolstered. You're going to lose so much time. It's better just to avoid it. It's very easy.
Wait a second.
Now, these elementals, you typically see me avoid every other week, but this week we want to pull them for count. They're not that easy, but not that hard.
Yeah, so you want to avoid the middle pack because of the bolstering, man. And it's also very annoying mobs. Very... Not cool to play.
This is probably one of the hardest mobs on Fortified in the game. When he casts the tornadoes, if you are a warrior, you can spare reflect it. It's not going to do damage.
Ooh. That was one hit.
And it's also not going to stun you. You will see me, like, this mob just trucks tanks. And especially if you're under geared, you need to constantly rotate cooldowns. You see me, like, IF tier off cooldown, wings a couple of times.
I don't have stamina.
It's necessary. I realize this.
Guys, rebuff stamina. Hello? Stamina. Oh my god.
After my initial death, the priest did not rebuff stamina, and it was so awkward because I wasn't paying attention to it. It's sort of his job.
He did it. We're actually timing stuff with people that play like this? Really? Dude, I had no stamina from the start of the dungeon. I know. Bro! Use something, anything. You have the time dial. Use it. I'm so pissed right now. You guys have no idea how pissed I am right now.
Yeah, I was a little bit pissed at this point. Those mobs are bolstered.
Those are big mobs. Big mobs. Kite time. No. Kite time. I don't want to pop defensives. Okay, we're good. Ooh, Nelly. You guys see how big those mobs were? Big birds.
Yeah, at this point, a little bit.
Oh, come on, man. These guys are not playing the key.
People weren't doing these balls. It wasn't spawning the balls. It was just AFK.
Seriously. It's me and Naughty against the world. How's Naughty beating the other paladin? The other paladin is more geared than him.
You guys can see that I was triggered at this point. Really triggered.
Bro, how are you beating the other paladin?
I'm sort of talking smack right now. I'm focusing on other things. I get stunned by the initial storm. It's not good.
I don't think the healer knows that he needs to keep me up. Like,
yeah, at this point, I cannot rely on the healer. He already proved to me several times during this dungeon he is not reliable. So I need to pay super extra safe. Need to be very, very greedy with my words of glory and my cooldowns here.
this is a pretty tough fight for tanks.
Doesn't really matter what thing.
5,
I typically have no issues on my other paladin, but because this one is 380 item level, I think like 379 or something in this dungeon, it's really
Why?
bad. It's pretty dangerous. Fighting this boss does definitely require you to be on point with your cooldown usage. You need to know when to use what so that you don't run out of cooldowns. Please heal me! And look, I'm not gonna deny it. Your healer really needs to top you off in these keys because you will use some heals initially, but the dot is 9 seconds.
God, these healers. Freaking cosmetic rolls, man. No, 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 no. How did I get stunned?
There's a lot of
Wasn't
misplays
even
here.
inside of a fire.
I just didn't realize it. Again, my mental fortitude wasn't the best in this key.
Dude, that priest needs to start using... I'm dead.
The priest died a couple of times here. He never used any
Died.
cooldowns. He stood in front of the breath, frontal
Died
from the boss there.
again.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of mistakes.
Why?
A lot of avoidable mistakes.
Stop dying to the same thing. You died to breath. Twice.
I mentioned this in many other videos before. This is the #1 thing that's going to trigger the party when the same member underperforms, does the same mistakes, you know, it doesn't kick the priority target, doesn't stun, doesn't help the group, doesn't bloodlust, doesn't pop defensive cooldowns when they should. They misuse their offensive cooldowns. You know, they use them to just DPS randomly and just you know, do high parses instead of doing priority damage, which is necessary in a key.
No, 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 no. You need to heal me. You need to heal me. I have the dot on me. Healer. Wow.
The healer was the first one to just leave. This is where I know, like, basically, if we were to do another key with that guy, I would not have taken him. It's just completely unreliable.
I'm dying through shield wall.
Yeah, those mobs just truck.
This plant is big. I need to chain.
It is true, the DPS were bolstering the mobs quite a lot in this run, and I wasn't having the most fun, I would say. But at the same time, it's not necessarily their fault. A lot of the mobs in this dungeon have various amounts of health pools. So even if you do single target damage, it's not the most efficient, and it's also not the best. So it's better if the tank understands this, and I understand this, and I just deal with it. I kite when the mobs are very big, and if I can, I'll just sit there and use my cooldowns. But because I want to keep the cooldowns for the boss fight, I'm anticipating to be very tough. Again, I cannot rely on my healer. I would be less greedy with my cooldowns at this point. But I have to make some decisions as both the leader of this group as well as individually as a player for my own best performance. So the best decision for me was to play greedy, not use my cooldowns, and keep everything for the boss. And here is where I call Bloodlust many times.
Please, Evoker. Bloodlust, man.
He didn't Bloodlust, the most important boss in this fight, and the only one that would pretty much make us break this key.
For God's
I had this happen.
sakes, man. Bloodlust.
I had this happen so many times. For some reason, people just, I don't know, they just tunnel vision something. I would really like to know, for those of you that are playing healer, that are playing DPS, what's sort of preventing you from understanding to respond to callouts? Hey, CC this, Bloodlust. If you can, guys, help me out. Leave it in the comment section down below as to, you know, what makes you unresponsive to some of these commands. Is it tunnel vision? Is it the fact that you're distracted in real life? Is it the fact that you just don't know the fights, or you don't know when to do things? Or maybe you don't understand the terminology when some people say lust and people are like, well, it's called fury of the aspects or something. I don't know what you're talking about. If you can let me know in the comments.
I'm popping wings.
I would like to help people out, and I would like to respond individually, and maybe make a big video where I can explain some of these things.
Healer, man. So useless. Cosmetic. No, 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 no.
I want to say cosmetic roll. I wasn't the one that said it. Dorky said it the first time. He said it to Growl, sort of a, you know, just a friendly banter. But I kind of feel, why he said it. It is pretty real.
healers do tend to become a little bit cosmetic, especially during these times. Unfortunately.
No, 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 no. Please! My... Oh.
Every single time I'm in danger, I feel like I'm not playing my
There's
best.
such a thing as funny, and then there's this...
Yeah, I was definitely pissed at this point, and I don't want this to come out in the video, but
Please
it
heal
happens.
me.
It does happen sometimes. You might project the saltiness into your group indirectly by not communicating or having a certain tonality. It happens.
Kick, 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 kick. I'm dead.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to justify it, but I am going to say I go through these things just as much as you guys go through these things. I understand them. These are normal behaviors. I would definitely advise against lashing out. Like, as you see, like I don't say anything to the healer. I don't flame him. I just want to get this dungeon over with, and I want to leave. I don't want to party with him anymore. I don't want to group up with him. I'm not going to report him on anything. I just don't want to be in the group with him anymore.
Okay, please, nobody die for no reason.
I have done so many Algethar academies, especially on my warrior and blood DK, and many times in 20 plus keys, I found myself in a situation
Evoker.
where I had to solo the boss. And it's not that easy on warrior. It's very easy on DK to solo this boss. It does nothing. The problem is the DK does so little damage and it takes such a long time. You will deplete every single key. I've had members that fully wiped to this boss. And this is one of the easiest bosses in the game. By far one of the easiest. We were missing some percentage here. So we go out, focus this pack. Always go for the Restorer. He has the least amount of HP.
Guys, stop AoEing. Why is that guy?
All they had to do was just focus down one mob.
Oh boy. We did a 19, Algethar. What item level is this guy?
We did it.
Row 8, Evoker. That ring has a socket. Boys, what is this? Well, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the future videos we're uploading. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you want to watch another clip from the live stream, definitely click here. I recommend this one. And if you want to watch the full live stream, click here. Ow, my God. Bro, why? This is so chaotic. Bro, where's the... Are you kidding? Bro, seriously? They know. What is he doing? Why does he keep dying? There we go.